Remember, you're not just scribbling your summoning circle from memory. Each rune is a ritual all on its own, with which you project your intent. You must take care that every line and curve is decisive and certain. A circle is protection. A circle is a contract. It provides safety, both for you and the being you bring over the threshold into our world. You have no room for mistakes. Therefore, it is imperative that you know this ritual, not only in your mind, but in your flesh and bones. Yes, believe it or not, there is a reason I assigned you all of those endless inscription worksheets. Well, aside from my intrinsic right as a teacher to torment you. Write enough runes, and the muscles in your hand will learn how to make them naturally, with little conscious thought on your part. I tell you these things not to put undue pressure on you, but to reassure you. A summoning circle feels like a weighty endeavor now, but in time, before you know it, you'll be activating them effortlessly. You see? Not quite there yet, are we? Let me see. You almost have it, but your penmanship, it lacks confidence. And look here, this rune requires a straight line bisecting it into two equal parts, but your line lists to the left. No. Better to just erase it and redraw it entirely. Allow me. Now. Remember, precision is key. Runes are to be written from top to bottom, left to right. There we are. Though activated, your ritual is still incomplete, so there's no danger of anything crawling through to surprise us. Even so, it's quite dangerous to leave them running. Wild magic and all. Yes, to deactivate your spell, just slash a line through the circle. Good. Well, I think that marks the end of today's lesson. Your next assignment will be to research and acquire a boon to bestow upon your chosen creature or being in exchange for answering your summon. And make sure it's the genuine article. Offering an astral lizard a wax plum is a wonderful way to lose a finger. My dear, whatever is the matter? All week you've been lethargic and unfocused. Your hands shake when you write. You jump like a startled cat when I call on you to answer a question. This is most unlike you. What especially concerns me is that this is happening when you are on the brink of completing your first summon. I shouldn't be correcting your spell work at this stage. No. Don't misunderstand. I'm not asking for apologies. I'm not telling you this to scold you. You must forgive me if I made you think for a second that I put your academic abilities in question. I'm not angry or disappointed. I'm worried about you. You look more than just tired. You look miserable. It doesn't help that it's absolutely freezing in here. Look, would you like to pop by my tower for a while instead? I find a change of scenery can be quite effective when I'm feeling discouraged. I'll make you some tea, and we can sort this out. Goodness, no, it's no burden at all. I often have clients come by my tower instead of making home visits. Let me just gather up my things. You don't mind taking a portal, do you? It's coming down steroids out there. After you. Is that what your professors used to tell you at your old university? Well, that's rubbish. I'm not surprised you hired me for private tutoring. They sound like a horrid bunch. No, the length of one's lifespan has nothing to do with whether or not one can practice elven magic. Yes, this discipline takes over a decade to fully master, but I've taught scores of mortals who went on to become brilliant summoners in spite of it taking a significant portion of their lives to learn. Furthermore, I know elves who have practiced summoning magic for decades who didn't possess half your spark. Don't give their remarks another thought. Please sit. Tea will only take a moment. Dio. I've enjoyed our chats these past weeks, you know? If our discussions are anything to go by, you've proven tenfold that you possess an innovative mind and extraordinary drive and passion. Well, I'm not just impressed, you're really quite inspiring. Why, yes. You inspire me. I know of no better way to put it. Milk and sugar? Or honey? Here you are. Look, have this sandwich too. No, I must insist. I can make another one later, but you really look like you need it. You're more than welcome. Goodness, you are inhaling that. When did you last eat? Or sleep, for that matter? I admire your dedication, but you mustn't neglect yourself like that. It's a dangerous habit in our profession. When you make excessive demands of your mind and body, you create a debt that you will have to pay back later. You wanted to impress me. But you already do. And look at what that all-nighter has accomplished. You were weary, distracted, and anxious to the point of near tears. Please don't do that to yourself on my behalf again. In fact, look, why don't you lie down on the sofa? It pains me to see you looking so tired. We can discuss the matter of your summoning circle after you've had a little rest. No, it's quite all right. You won't be wasting my time. I have some homework to mark anyway. I'm sure our conversation will be more fruitful when you aren't practically swooning with exhaustion. Please? For me? Good. I'll fetch you a blanket. You rest well. You deserve it. Oh, marvelous. Another paper on flying sharks. Why they always pick that species to study is beyond my ken. Oh, what a mess of commas. I keep telling them, no more run-on sentences. Arise, little dreamer. I've brought you some more tea. Oh, you went to sleep long. Perhaps an hour and a half? Long enough for me to finish my work anyway. May I join you on the sofa? You look in much better spirits. Do you feel better? Oh, good. Yes, you must have needed that. Now, there are many sound reasons why so much study is required before any of the actual summoning is allowed, but that doesn't make the years of work any less daunting. I mean, my gods, trying to memorize the runes alone is enough to discourage many would-be practitioners. You held up remarkably well, until recently. It's understandable. You're under an enormous amount of pressure. You are progressing from learning the theory of a spell to actually casting it. It's a big step. And when a single stutter or errant line can mean utter ruin, it's dreadfully easy to become paralyzed with self-doubt. It's a phenomenon I usually see occur in mages who are much further along in their studies than you. In a way, I'm almost glad you're learning about it now instead of later. It will allow you to be more prepared when you begin the actual work of summoning. Oh, yes, everyone experiences this to some degree. I certainly have. Once I let myself become distracted during a group ritual. I stumbled over a word, and for a split second I was frozen with dread that I'd mispronounced it. It was only for a moment, but sometimes that's all it takes. The young dragon we summoned spotted my inattentiveness immediately and tried to escape its bonds. I shudder to think what might have happened if we hadn't had experienced mages supervising us. They were able to banish the dragon before anyone was hurt, thank gods. But the ritual was ruined. And oh, the tongue-lashing I received. I was a wreck for weeks after that. I couldn't sleep. My concentration suffered. And it wasn't only my summoning that was affected. Simple spells and cantrips I'd performed effortlessly thousands of times before became impossible. I couldn't even light a candle without its flames sputtering out. I truly thought I was losing my mind. Even my smallest efforts were failures. I was very lucky that I was able to overcome that feeling eventually. I learned that I'd much rather fall back a step or several steps or even start all over again than never move forward at all. Failures will happen. Not only that, they must happen in order for us to progress. My mistake was thinking that my setback meant the death of my life's work. Of course, it wasn't. It was part of the process. That is what helped me the most. That simple realization. Occasionally, you will encounter individuals who will insist that what I experienced was a period of weakness or lack of discipline. This tells you much more about them than it says about you. It tells you that they have never gone through what you and I have endured. It's a dreadfully simplistic and inaccurate way to view an affliction that affects thousands of stalwart mages. Oh, my dear. It's all right to cry. You have had a terrible week, haven't you? Let me get you some tissues. There. Can I get you anything else? Well, if hugs are what you require, I am happy to provide. You're going to be all right, and I'll help you in any way I can. Perhaps I could acquaint you with some of the exercises that helped me break my own cycle of blunders. A return to the basics can work wonders. Why, yes, that's exactly what it sounds like. You didn't think you'd be free of writing lines just because you were about to move on to spellcasting, did you? I've met veteran mages who still endlessly fill their journals with runes and spells, just as you do each week. It's not solely to keep their memories sharp or their hands nimble. Sometimes we must teach ourselves again that we are still capable. But should you find yourself lacking in motivation, that can be very encouraging. The look on your face right now. Yes, I noticed your little crush. Silly thing. How could I not? It's adorable. And rather flattering. I think we could use it to our advantage, don't you think? I could help you improve in all sorts of areas. Concentration, control, discipline. Does that entice you? I thought it might. Devout learner that you are. Let's begin with